back. Journey to Eternity. This is another deck where I'm curious to see if Stitcher's Supplier ends up feeling like it's playable or not. Again, I'm pretty confident. There's no background noise, chat. It literally doesn't exist. Everything is the same as it's always been. Stitcher's Supplier is a card that I don't think is particularly constructed playable in Standard, especially. In Modern, this card works with some very busted payoffs like Vengevine and stuff like that. But in Standard, our payoffs are much weaker, right? Like, we're trying to enable, we've got some Creeping Chills here. We've got some Azonies. I guess it theoretically helps enable you to have big things to flip with Journey to Eternity. But honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if we end up after a few matches feeling like Journey to Eternity is again just similar to Gruesome Menagerie, just ends up being like kind of a worse payoff than Find Finality. So let's play a couple of matches and see how the cards line up and see how it feels. And the other thing about these graveyard cards, and I think this is the thing that makes these enablers so medium, is that these enablers tend to be worse on average than the Explore creatures, because the Explore creatures can actually draw you cards in addition to enabling things into your discard pile. While they discard fewer cards, they are drawing you cards and generating actual card advantage some of the time. I'm pretty confident this is a mulligan even in the dark. Just like nothing till turn 4 seems bad. We've got a 1-1 for 1 chat. How could we lose? I don't even know that Glowspore Shaman's good enough. The fact that Glowspore Shaman only has 1 point of defense is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of random 1Xs in Standard that it just trades with. It feels medium. They don't have a second land, so you're saying there's a chance. Well, that was a great enabler. Yep. Oh, am I supposed to trophy that? Am I supposed to trophy this disinformation campaign? Part of me almost feels like I am. Yeah, like how do I ever beat a Blood Operative? Can I ever beat a Blood Operative? Erebus, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Necrotic Wound. Okay, that's fair. Start by attacking with these, and we'll play my land out before we cast this so we don't get syncopated. You do however gets. Oh, they had 3 mana up. And again, like, this is a good example of like these Stitcher suppliers being pretty bad, right? Like I've literally just cast 2 1/1s for 1 mana. I guess my 1/1 for 1s have like dealt 5 points of damage to them. Yeah, and the fact that we like had to burn the trophy. Hey, look, a third 1/1 for 1. Yeah, the Llanowar Elf really ties the board together. Soot me, baby. Golden Demise. Yeah. Feel the power. And this card's just like... This card's pretty bad against spot removal, right? Okay, okay. Okay. If we can kill this, if Journey can't win this game against this grindy mid-range deck, there's no reason to play Journey. So, you know, this is what we're going for. If this isn't a game Journey can win, I don't think there's games that Journey can win. And I mean, like, they are at 11 here, so, like, this is gonna kill them pretty quickly. Gosh, could you imagine if they had Dream Eater? Just, like, dead to rights. Contempted? Oh, gosh. There are so many things that beat this card. I mean, they definitely print magic cards with more intentions than just standard, right? Like, and that's one of the reasons, one of the things that makes designing magic cards so complicated. Oh, they just get to destroy my journey? Hey, Shao, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that. Maybe I'm supposed to shoot their disinformation campaign here. Definitely very possible. Ah, excellent. Creeping chill. That's exactly what I wanted for Christmas.
Everyone is expendable, except me.
I guess I get Chups here. I could get Plaguecrafter. Yeah, maybe I just get Plaguecrafter plus Chups. The blue-black disinformation campaign deck is very good. We've played it a bunch on stream. It popped up in some of the classics over the weekend. It's doing a lot of good things. A lot of things that are very definitely playable in the format. No, they took our Vraska with their copy of Eldest Reborn. Yeah, if you install Wine Staging, Arena works as expected with it. The installer is missing some text because it's a .NET installer that doesn't render properly under Wine, but the actual game itself that's written in Unity works fine under Wine. I'm actually streaming from a Linux system using Wine right now. Oh, they have red in their deck, so probably Nicol Bolas, I'd assume. If they have double campaign here, we're just dead. I don't know, Nestor. So the blue-black, I felt like I liked a lot of the things the surveil list we played yesterday was doing, but at the same time, my match win rate, my win rate with it was much worse. And maybe the details were just bad. It definitely felt better when we finally cut the surveil counter spells. There's definitely like a reasonable chance that like the deck just wasn't constructed properly. I haven't actually shilled yet today, and let's do it now since Arena decided to crash. How we doing, folks? Welcome. My name is Jeff Logan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30-plus hours a week. I do 100% constructed on this channel. We play a ton of Standard on Magic Arena. We also play a ton of Modern on Magic Online. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider doing like Show just in there and subscribe to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I love what I do, but I wouldn't be here day in and day out without the support of my subs. Subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. BCWSupplies.com will love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards or their gaming products with their wonderful accessories. They do sleeves and deck box and all sorts of other great stuff there. And of course, Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 4 months now, and we really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back. Traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new bed with them by checking out links bit.ly/HugelBedUS and bit.ly/HugelBedCA. Magic Arena has recovered from its small dirt nap here, so let's board very quickly. Let's trim that. Plaguecrafter actually seems pretty good for taking their planeswalkers and stuff off the table. I do need to board quickly because the timer isn't always accurate here, so let's trim some elves. Let's trim, I'm gonna trim some chupas, and that gets me to 61, which I'm gonna call good enough. Yeah, Bob, the Lisa's a longer term one. So that one should still be up there come January. While Necrotic Wound doesn't seem stellar in this matchup at a glance, it's important to note that my opponent's deck is likely playing multiple copies of the card Blood Operative, which is very good against us because it disrupts our graveyard plan, and Necrotic Wound notably exiles the thing that you target with it, so it permanently gets rid of that card. Yes, BCW is the team that was previously sponsoring Todd Stevens and has since removed him from the roster. You did miss the Abzan Autumn deck. That was the first deck we played today. They have a Cinder Barons in their deck. Want to buy Blood Crypt. Want to buy Blood Crypt. Unfortunately, don't have another play here. Hopefully their turn 3 is a Blood Operative, so I can just like Necrotic Wound it. Do you sponsors approach you, or do you seek them out? It's a mix of the two. Some of them are, you know, just people that I have interacted with in the industry before. Other ones are, they have things that I've used and I like what their products are, so I seek them out. Other ones, a lot of like the brand deals like Harry's Razors and Lisa, I work with an advertising company that sets me up with them. And I always make sure to try those products before I use them. So like when I say Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa as a joke, we actually have a Lisa mattress, and they actually let us have it and sleep on it for a month before I decided whether or not I wanted to take them on as a sponsor. I think it's very important as someone, what I do here, the way I directly interact with folks, that I know the products that I'm using are good. Because if I advertise something that's like a bad product, that's going to come back to bite me. I don't want to advertise things that are crappy. It also makes it easier to advertise them too. It's much easier to sell products that are good that you like. The Abzan list was interesting. I feel like the Abzan deck was another good set of videos in terms of, set of matches in terms of like iterating on a deck and making changes as we played with it. This 3-run is running people down. That is a disinformation campaign. That's gonna run us down. Hopefully we find some lands here. So I binned a necrotic wound, and they don't know about our second necrotic wound. So hopefully if they have a blood operative, they'll be inclined to play it out, not knowing that we have a second one lying in wait. Ah, yes, the very powerful 1/1 for 1. Oh, Beetle. I mean, they are at 11 here. It does take the clock to a 3-turn clock. That's true. That's a big splash. Did this really not put any creatures in my graveyard? This card is it's so bad. Please give me a creature to bed. God bless. Exile that one. Goodbye, friend. It doesn't matter where the Phoenix is being played. It's still incredibly difficult to cast. One of the ways you can make 3-color mana bases work in this format is by being particular about which spells you're playing in your 3-color mana base. And playing cards that are double blue on 3, double red on 4, and then double black on 5 is a good way to end up not being able to cast your spells consistently. BCS, thank you for the 6-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm just gonna smash them. Like, they're a Ritual of Soot deck, so like they're gonna clear my board at some point anyways. So I think trading a 3-2 or a 3-1 here for 4 points of damage is a worthwhile trade for me. Especially when I have like this Carnage Tyrant looming that's gonna get to trample. Yeah, I think that was a good thing, Bob. I think a lot of people don't consider when they're building their mana bases that building the mana base should go hand in hand with the spells that you're choosing to put into your deck. People I think often figure out like, these are the spells I want to play, and then they try and build their mana to support their spells, where in reality, those two things need to be linked, right? You need to be doing both of those together. The streaming voice we hear must be pretty straining. It's not. If I'm talking now is straining, I wouldn't be able to do it for, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours. So one of the ways I keep my energy levels up while I stream for a long amount of time is that I use what is considered a stage voice. I'm projecting my voice from my diaphragm. I'm not using my vocal cords to make my voice sound strong like it is. Well, this is kind of sweet. So I get to slide the journey onto here, and then I get to attack with this, and they're obligated to block, because if they don't block, they're dead. Oh, I should have attacked here, right? I missed a point of damage. I was so excited to get to flip journey, I missed a point of damage. Oh, that's true. Creeping Chill is currently lethal. All right. I'd be surprised if there's Field of Ruin and they're double red, double black, double blue mana base. So, Carney T is coming back next turn, chat. All right. This is interesting. Like I said, one of the things I wanted to gauge was like, how often is this better or worse than just Find Finality? And it looks like it's going to be quite a bit better here. Because like, if this was a Find Finality, these cards would be trapped in my hand. They'd be susceptible to these disinformation campaigns. This is an instant, right? Yeah, it is. Oh, I do have a Plaguecrafter. I totally should have put Plaguecrafter into play. I'm dumb. I'm gonna do that now. This does let me sack the Stitcher Supplier, which can hit Creeping Chill here, potentially. So they should be at 1 and potentially dead here if I just sequence this better. We could have potentially won with Plague, assuming they had no removal. Hey, Gorks, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. You shouldn't assume your opponent's BMing when they miss something like this. A good piece of advice that will get you very far in life is never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. So I just missed this, right? This wasn't malicious. I'm just dumb. Yeah, kind of. Like, Journey's activated ability isn't counterable, but, like, the setup for making Journey happen is very, very interactable, right? Like, they can kill the creature as you're sliding the enchantment onto it. You have to have a creature in play to begin with. Yeah, Contempt means that they weren't dead regardless. Which is correct. This is an instant speed effect, so just gonna do that at end of turn. How do they have a splash for Assassin's Trophy? I mean, I'm better off just getting Carnage Tyrant, right? Carnage Tyrant, is there anything that punishes Carnage Tyrant at end of turn? There aren't any instant speed edicts in this format, right? The arena music is on. The arena music is on. It's just low. Can y'all hear the arena sound effects? Oh, they could have Dispersal. Dispersal's actually a really good one. That is a real card that they could have. Dispersal is an instant. All right, game the third. Russ Launchik, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that this month. I think I'm happy with how I played, but I boarded kind of quickly because arena crashed. But I think I'm happy with what I did. I don't think there's anything up here that I really am interested in bringing down. Oh, I am on 61. I mean, I won with 61, chat, so obvs, it's perfect. I'm gonna trim these. Now they have the Phoenixes. Like, do I trim the necrotic wounds? I only have 20 creatures in my deck. I think the wounds probably aren't good enough. I'm gonna bring Chupa back in. How do you like Price of Fame? Price of Fame's okay. I've definitely played... We played a couple in our Surveil deck the other day as another Surveil enabler. Gosh, this hand is so good. It's just like this was a land. I was watching a Grixis Dragons video on YouTube and someone donated $25 to you to make the best Bolas deck. I looked at the queue and I'm not sure what that is, so put this towards that. Gorks, we actually played that. We actually played that yesterday. That was we played Blue-Black Bolas yesterday. So you'll want to check that one out. It's up on YouTube already. I don't have a creature, but this card's really good. I'm gonna hold on to keep that for now. If you'd like to put those to bump something else, Gorks, I do appreciate the bits. As a reminder that the content on this stream is driven completely by the viewers, so any bits you cheer or dollars you donate, if you donate $1 or more, cheer 100 bits or more, you get to bump something in my deck queue, because the people that support my content get to dictate what we play and when we play it. Put this towards Amulet. Will do, Doof Monster. Sounds good. Grixis Dragons was a great one. All right. I think I take Moment of Craving because it's instant speed interaction that can mess with Journey. Nice Phoenix. Unfortunately, don't want to sacrifice a land here. So hopefully find us a land. Perfect. Demon of Catastrophe in this list. What does Demons of Catastrophe do for the deck? What problem does this deck have that you're solving by adding that card? What card would you cut for that card? So, we haven't seen operatives out of them, and we kind of had a long-ish game too. So, I think I'm actually going to bid a land here at this point, since I have my 5-drop in play now. Bid charge abs and seance because I forgot yesterday. Sounds good, Zach. So they're dead, right? This has trample. Emblem kills them. Abs and Sands hasn't been played yet. It's just in the queue. Kill you with my emblem. What's going on, Cassie? Trigger. You don't have to concede. You could just resolve the trigger, opponent. All right, so what did I think about what was going on there? I feel like these creeping chills are kind of stupid. I don't know that I'm a fan of this card. I feel like this is too cute, right? Like the only way we have to enable it for free is like this and the one Doom Whisperer. I'm gonna cut these creeping chills. What's the? There is a 2-mana black card, Dusk Legion Zealot. I think this card's really good in this deck. Because, like, we can curve this into Journey into Vraska. Or, like, even Dusk Legion into Plaguecrafter seems good. Do we cut Stitcher Supplier? I don't know. This card seems really bad, right? There's only 21 lands in this deck, too. Let's clean up some things here. Let's clean up some numbers. Let's get another Llanowar Elves in here. Might of the Masses is nonsense. Let's add some of those. Let's go up a couple of lands. This is 15 black. 15 black's probably good. That seems better. I think I like that. I went up on cards that I can bin. I could bin to Journey. Honestly, this might just be like a 4x Vraska deck, just because you want to curve whatnot into here. I think these Glowstorm Shamans might be poop too. Yeah, Jadelight's like a playable thing that puts stuff into our bin, right? Do I want some Jadelights in here? Do I just max on Vraska's? Because Vraska's really good with Journey on curve, right? Alright, take my Mythic Wild card. We're down to 3. We're gonna have to give Wizards more money soon. Oh, this card is what you're talking about? Create Black Clerics. That's interesting. If you're not feeding your bin, your deck suddenly doesn't want to do what this deck is. That's not true, Endocrace. And I think this is a really good example of like deck building failures that people make while playing these. So this deck was playing a bunch of cards that just aren't good cards. They're not constructed playable cards. They're just like trying to play these cards to force a theme, whereas we could put Journey of Eternity into... Oh, I had a fancy Vraska. Son of a... That feels bad. Oh, God, that feels bad. What a tilt. What a mythic wild card set on fire and thrown in the garbage can. Had a mismatched Vraska I could put in here, too. Completely forgot. What a tilt. What a waste. What I have never been... That's not true. I've been this tilted before, but that's a real feel bad. Just dust the extra one, right? All right, let's do this. Why is there a Might of the Masses in the sideboard? All right, so again, one of the things I've done here as we make changes, we are closer to a more traditional green-black mid-range deck, but still with elements that allow us to leverage Journey. And just because your goal is to be different or to be playing cards that are outside the norm, like Journey, it doesn't... The easiest way for your brew to end up not being playable, to not be competitive, is to put a bunch of cards in your deck that are just bad Magic cards. Cards like Stitcher Supplier, and cards like this 3/1 that just like mills us randomly. They're trying to get too cute. And just like the thing that you need to do is, if you put more just generically playable cards in your deck, when your actual plan doesn't come together, you will have a more cohesive strategy left over. So when I'm tuning deck lists throughout the course of the stream, the deck list that I put under the YouTube video is the latest iteration of it. So whatever is the last configuration I end on for the day, that's what goes under the YouTube video. Alright. Don't exile me later. As always, if you see me tweet a picture of a deck that seems sweet, and you can't watch it live, you can always catch that video later on both my website, jeffhoagland.com, or my YouTube channel directly. Yeah, Journey taps for mana. 1 mana of any color. Gosh, I was hoping we draw a, I was hoping to draw a Vraska there. It's possible that the necrotic runes get bad enough to the point of not being playable if I cut the weaker payoffs, the weaker enablers. Or the weaker enablers, not payoffs, they're enablers. That's a tilt. Yeah, the glow spores were like okay, but the glow spores also would have been okay at basically every point had they simply been an explorer creature. Our eternity turned itself into a land. Yep. Yeah, I think the power level ultimately of what Journey is doing seems worth trying to explore, because the actual effect that it's getting is very, very strong. The question that you have to answer surrounding it is, can you make the downsides that go along with enabling it minimal? I love that this card takes a card out of their hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and go land, find, pick my 2/2 drops up here. When you open a 5th copy of a card you already have 4 of, you are given sadness. Sadness is what you are given as a reward. Findbroker. Findbroker is probably a fine card to be playing. It's just another generically good card. It's a card that gets back Journey. There should probably be some Findbrokers in here. Oh no! Why can't you kill Barney, Chupacabra? The big angry dinosaur. Alright, Choop's got his number. Alright, let's start with this. This is game 1, so they didn't board in Carnage Tyrant, they just have it in their main deck. I'm giving you a wonderful 10-minute timeout because you're a typical Magic player who didn't listen to the words that I said. What I said when I ranted about Plaguecrafter and Carnage Tyrant is I used very important keywords like typically and most decks that play Carnage Tyrant to imply that what I was saying was not an absolute. It was not always correct, because I understand that there are variations to things. All of the iterations that we made on the deck list can be found on my Stream Decker already. Yeah, there's variety. There's lots of different things people are doing in this game, which makes it sweet. There's lots of interesting things that you could pick and choose from. My Carnage Tyrants. This is probably an okay trophy matchup, probably an okay find matchup. I have 66 cards at the moment. This is a matchup where I want my own Choops. I probably don't want my own Choops in this matchup. Yeah, maybe 4 trophies is too many. Your actual idea isn't what gets you timed out here. What gets you timed out is the way in which you present your idea. You can present something that is completely correct and reasonable, and you can present it in a way that's very rude and not constructive. Maybe Doomwish. I guess Doomwhisperer trades with their Carnage Tyrant. I think these Izonis are probably just a trap. This looks like a Midnight Reaper deck. That's a good suggestion. I like the Midnight Reaper suggestion. Hey, little Hodor. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. Yeah, Duress is really good at forcing our journeys through. I concur with that. Makes me sad to mulligan that hand, but I'm going to. I am really excited for Artifact. Yeah, I'm going to try Artifact. My expectations for Artifact are low. The way Valve has managed their spoiler season and the feedback that I've heard from people playing Artifact has tempered my expectations a little bit. Also, Digital Magic kind of used to suck, and now Digital Magic doesn't suck, so... I think Carnage Tyrant's a fine card. I think having safety valves from allowing control to just be mono greed is great. I think there are a variety of answers to Carnage Tyrant in basically every color combination that wants to be a control deck. So I think it's a fine card to have in the format. People are complaining that people who complain about Carnage Tyrant being difficult to answer, they're just lazy. And they don't want to have to play different cards. Having to play a diversity of answers to answer diversity of threats creates interesting and varied play patterns. I will 100% be giving Artifact a try because, you know, why not? New card games are sweet, and maybe it's great. Could be the best thing since sliced bread. Hopefully my hand is going to find something good to do later. To pick like double Jadelight up. Tilt. Alright, well now that cat's out of the bag. Had to make the joke, chat. I had to make the joke and we got punished. Got punished for the dad joke. I mean, that one might as well stay there, right? Like it's a 1/1 that draws a card, so replaces itself. Your thoughts on Arena and its position in terms of casual and competitive play in the future? I have no idea about its terms of casual and competitive play in the future. That's something that only Wizards of the Coast can decide, and not something that we can decide as viewers. All we can do as people who are playing the application is give Wizards the feedback that we really like the application and would like to see it used in things like competitive play potentially in the future. As far as Arena goes, I think Arena is great. Arena is the Magic video game that I've wanted for a decade. It's fantastic. It's better than I could have wanted it to be. I don't know what exactly I was looking for, but whatever it was, this is better. Hey, 10 double S City. Thank you for the tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. If you would have asked me what I expected from a Magic product, I'm actually surprised at how much fluidness they've added to the client. I never would have thought that they would be able to make Magic as fast as they have made Magic play, which is just the absolute best thing about Arena is just the rate at which you're able to play games of Magic the Gathering on it. I just don't have anything to do with this. I don't have a way to get it in the bin. I have to remember that my health total is actually 6 lower than it currently says, because they're going to hit me with this Doom Whisperer next turn. I guess I'll just leave that there and be done. I'm going to decline getting a land here. Yeah, I think some simple interface to show which cards your opponents have seen in your hand would probably be good. I was surveilling because I wanted to try and find a good card that could kill my opponent's Doom Whisperer. I declined to search, yes. The search on Assassin's Trophy is optional. So I felt trying to find a quality card was more valuable than... Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead because I played this stupid thing. These necrotic wounds. I think this is just a trap. Too many. That's 57 cards still. I probably want a couple more Doom Blades in here. So Chupacabra is pretty good too. It's a good one. It's a good one with Journey to Eternity as well. I wanted Findbrokers. Yeah, Findbroker's a good one. I like that. Let's do that. A 5th copy? We don't even have 4 copies. What do we need? Why do you need a 5th copy for? You know, if my opponent reveals my hand that I have 1 copy of card, it should always play the copy that they're aware of, regardless of which one you drag into play. When is it good to decline from Assassin's Trophy? When you know the top card of your deck and you want to draw the top card of your deck. I'm gonna fill my water bottle really quick. I'll be right back, folks. Anyone who thought we were going to mulligan this hand hasn't watched this stream enough. Let the greed consume you, chat. Ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. Yeah, I probably should have used the elf in case I drew a tap land there. I had 2 shots at a second land there, thanks. Ooh, Experimental Frenzy. That was a good draw. All right, cast Moat. Will ever be used for feature matches on coverage from a logistical point of view. I think at some point in the future, if Magic wants to grow its presence as a potential esport, that high-level tournaments need to simply just not be paper Magic. I know there's a lot of people that won't like to hear that, but I think that for the sake of the game and making the game better and bigger, that paper for the highest level tournaments for the sake of coverage is going to have to go the wayside. Zero cheating is very huge. I agree with that. Getcha. That's a big boy. It's a shame it dies to Doomblade. Paper magic is more work to stream, and the product you end up with is less good, in my opinion. Zap this one. MTGO is up. I think I'm gonna stick to Arena for today. I don't like changing formats midstream, and we'll probably lose most of our viewers if we switch back to the spreadsheet. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. Sure, Rick, but like you have the option to fake those counterspells when you need to, and when you don't need to, you can use the game and play quickly. Like, it's giving you the flexibility to do both. Like, why is that an issue? There's nothing wrong with little column A, little column B. Yeah. Just gonna go ahead and leave Doom Whisperer back because it trades with Carnage Tyrant cleanly here. I think we have the opponent's deck in the queue actually. It's a green-red Experimental Frenzy deck like Dino Frenzy. The Abzan deck was interesting. I think the Abzan deck is going to be another good example of kind of tuning a deck list as we play it. We started in one place and we ended up in a place that was fairly different. I think I liked where we ended up. You cannot auto yield to specific triggers in MTGO Arena. MTG Arena. You don't want to attack and trade opponent? Why don't you want to attack and trade opponent? Is it because my Doom Whisperer will come back from my thing? Now, Vraska Dusk Zealot. Let me tell you about a build your own divination made in heaven, chat. Let me tell you about this sweet build your own divination. I'm probably just supposed to start killing them here, right? So I have 6 power back to block the Carnity. Yeah, maybe I should have attacked them last turn and just like left these back to stack block. Treasure Map Experimental Frenzy is kind of a combo. I've been holding this Assassin's Trophy, chat. We're just gonna kill the Frenzy and move on with our lives. But Jeff, Plaguecrafter never kills Carnage Tyrant, Jeff. Jeff lied to me. He told me Plaguecrafter never kills Carnage Tyrant, and here he is killing Carnage Tyrant with Plaguecrafter. Jeff's such a big bully. He lied to me, chat. He lied to me. Yeah. Sometimes you kill it. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Some very small amount of the time you kill it with Plaguecrafter. I actually don't drink coffee. Believe it or not. This obnoxious is all natural, chat. It's probably not a fine Finality matchup. Their creatures are probably bigger than the -4/-4 on average. So this is definitely a Rec Stage matchup. They have treasure maps and frenzies. Trophy seems good. I can never support your lies any longer. No, 4-mana Vraska is not modern playable. This card needs other cards to generate card advantage, and you want your Planeswalkers in modern to generate card advantage on their own. Coffee was for closers, that's true. Yeah, do I want Tyrant for their Tyrant? They're probably gonna board it a bunch of ways to kill this card, huh? Do I just like do the bait switch? I've seen some of these green decks even just like straight up playing Plummet. This list feels so trim. I like where we've gotten to here. I need 2 more cuts though. Is it Squire? I think it's Squire. In this instance, it didn't matter, but I usually like sacking my Plaguecrafter when I have Journey to Eternity. Yeah, maybe. This hand is great. I feel like this deck has a lot of good ways to leverage Vraska too. Like, a lot of the green black decks I've seen Vraska played in, she doesn't have a lot of good things to sacrifice. They just end up like plussing her for no value a bunch. And I feel like this build has gotten to a point where we have a ton of cards that we don't mind binning to Vraska. Why Rexage over Brontodon? That's probably a good suggestion. So the original list for this deck that we're playing right now is not a deck list that I put together. It's one that a viewer submitted. And I think you're right that Brontodon is better than Reclamation Sage. I'm gonna bin her. I don't really need a second. That's a good suggestion. Let's put Brontodon into the sideboard over the Rexage after this. I'm gonna kill this Jadelight. It means if my opponent has a red source, they can Banefire to kill my Vraska, but I think I'm okay with that. We're in an okay spot. Jeff, I made that suggestion 3 times already. Well, I missed it, obviously, Foxicon. Thank you for the biddies. That's no red mana. You can sack it, targeting its own journey. That is some technology. You can sack it, targeting its own journey. Huh. That's kinda hot. Is anyone else gifted subs today? I had to be. We had a couple of one-off subs earlier that were gifted. So this thing can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing, and they're still pretty far away from that. They're missing a land drop this turn. So I really don't want to trophy that because it'll give them a red source. Like, they're also missing land drops, right? Yeah, we kind of have, I think I agree with that assessment that we kind of just have plenty of Vraska fodder. I mean, it's not a good tempo play, but it's a play that you'd sometimes be willing to make. Like, you don't play Brontodon because it's a Journey Flipper all on its own, but like the fact that it is a Journey Flipper is upside that it has on top of what else it's already doing. So they have 5, 6, 7. Did I miss lethal? Oh, I have lethal, right? Shh. Okay, listen. I would like the record to reflect I got there just before Twitch chat got there. I would like the record to reflect I got there before Twitch chat got there. I would like the record to reflect that I got there on my own. Yeah, Midnight Reaper seems interesting too. I just don't know that I have slots for Midnight Reaper. Let's look at this thing again. Definitely want Brontes. I don't know that I have room for main deck Brontes. Is this main deck find nonsense? Do I just like have those bases covered? And like that gives me a slot? I kind of wouldn't mind another Doom Whisperer though. I like that Doom Whisperer gives us like, so Journey needs payoffs with it. Green Black has a lot, it does have a lot of awesome cards to come into it. The Thrashing? What is this card called? Type Dino. Thrashing. It is Thrashing. I probably typoed it. I think we want the full 4 Vraska. Vraska's like pretty good. I probably don't want this Golden Demise. So again, and I think people are commenting like you're just turning into a regular Golgari deck. Sure, I've cut a bunch of the bad cards and put a bunch of good Golgari cards into the deck. If your goal is you just want to be some kind of special snowflake who's different and you want to put a bunch of garbage cards in your deck and then complain that your opponent net decked a deck full of good cards, they beat you because their deck is full of good cards. This is how you build good decks with interesting takes. You don't put a bunch of terrible cards in them. You put a bunch of constructed playable cards in your deck, and then you try to enable a card that's a powerful payoff like this with cards that are otherwise constructed playable. The easiest way for your brew to end up not being successful, just like being different for the sake of being different, is bad. Don't be different for a reason. Have a goal, have an intention with what your deck is doing. Have a reason for the cards you're putting in your deck. It's okay to play good cards in your deck. You can still, I think Journey is a very reasonable payoff, and it's a reasonable addition to these colors with the way we're trying to enable it. But I do feel like there's this trap that people fall into where they're like, well, I just can't play good cards because then I'm like the other decks that are good. It's like, well, yeah, they're good for a reason. They don't have a bunch of garbage cards in them. All right, I'm gonna concede before they know what basic forest deck work. We're like close to 0% to win with this hand against red. I'm gonna board accordingly. Can confirm I build a lot of decks by jamming as many unplayables as possible. All right, so I probably want to trim my top end here. This is a matchup where Journey to Eternity is just not good, so we are going to cut it here. I think Brontodon's actually okay, because there's a good chance my opponent has Experimental Frenzy in their deck post board. Findbroker's probably a little bit too slow here as well. That's 60. What do we think of this? Yeah, just like a 3-4 for 3 is like pretty okay. Yeah, I guess the Findbroker is probably okay from that perspective. I can trim a couple of Zealots. I want things to do on 2. What do we think of this? Marty, can I just like let you know that you're the clip master? I just want you to know that that's fantastic and you're the clip master. I'm gonna share that one later. What's going on, Jarvis? Shut up, I know it. You don't gotta tell me twice. I think I gotta keep that one. That one's too good. I want to land, but like that card's too good to bottom. Yeah, so normally Wednesdays are gonna be modern during the day, but Magic Online started today with downtime, and now we've got a bunch of people watching, and I don't want to lose all my viewers by switching to modern. So we're gonna hang out and play standard for the remainder of today. I think Magic Online's actually back up now, but I'm not changing. So we're just gonna play standard through the end of today's stream. And I was going to do modern and standard on Friday. Friday stream is just going to be all modern to make up for today being all standard. Yeah, tonight's always going to be standard. So Friday will be all modern instead of being split. I think I'm just supposed to use my mana and Plaguecrafter here. It feels bad to like trade this for their thing, but I think I'm supposed to. So, decks, if you're expecting me to build a deck from scratch, I expect a larger donation because it takes me time and energy to put a deck together. So, I usually expect a $50 donation if you want me to do the deck building. If you want to do the legwork and build a deck yourself, it's a $10 donation for subs to submit a base deck idea to the queue with a list. Oh, I should have attacked first. That is a good useful thing to point out. You are completely correct that I should have attacked first. Can I get a land? Ding. Yep, we're gonna do you can gain 15% more viewers by switching to arena. Yep. And again, I don't intend to drop modern content altogether. Modern is the reason where I am, and I'm very aware of that. But I do know right now there are a bunch of people watching that will stop watching if we switch to Magic Online. And I'd prefer if we don't do that. Zap that. I'm just gonna start killing them here. Try and get in some damage with these. Maybe I should leave one back because trading a 2-1 for this is better than trading a 2-2 for this. Yeah, and they get to do this now and shock that. Yeah, maybe it's better to leave one of them back. I think I'm just gonna gain health with this. I agree, Foxicon. I don't watch people streaming standard on Arena. Obviously, when I want to watch a modern stream, I have to watch Magic Online stream, but it's so much less watchable than this application. Like, to an absurd degree. Brontodon is a sweet draw, because it means I can trophy more aggressively, because I have a backup answer to Frenzy. Do you think the increase in standard viewers or new viewers to me? I do, actually. And like a lot of people have been brought in by, you know, folks like Nox and Savits and folks like that have brought in viewers who are only interested in standard and arena. Well, that is truly unfortunate. So let's do this and kill this Pyromancer. Well, I mean, and standard changes too, which is good for standard, right? Like, so like even if this standard format gets dry after a hot second, we'll be able to have another one. I think I'm supposed to sacrifice and draw a card here and play this Brontodon. Gosh, that was a good one. It's a good one, chat. Just keep my health gain going with this Vraska. Top deck hero. Top decks are easier when you get 2 top decks every turn, chap.
Don't dwell on what's about to happen.
Just, you know, boop it on the nose. Yeah, bye, friend. Hey, SCTR, thank you very much for the very generous sub gifts. I appreciate you doling those out. Welcome. Thanks for the support. Let me know which deck in the queue you'd like to bump up with those, if there's a new deck you'd like to add. Thanks for supporting my content here. Yeah, Bronto was an A+ edition. I guess Reclamation Sage would have technically been better on that board, but it's close. Hey, Shroot Far Meats. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. Saw people without shovels can't leave home without it. Welcome to the Hoaglandia draft. Enjoy your stay. Yeah, me too, Toaster, as you saw me just do there. Man, we might actually hit that 35th emote before the sub gifts from the start of the month fall off. We're 32 sub points away. And I don't think they fall off till the 2nd, so we've got like a week to do that. Do you think you can convert the new standard audience to modern content? I think there's a lot of people that would enjoy modern, but won't watch Magic Online and aren't interested in doing it. Sub points are almost 1-to-1, so for $5 subs they're 1-to-1. For tier 3 subs I get a bonus, so like a $24.99 sub gives me a 6 sub point. I'm a Yeti, thank you for the brand new Prime support. And Sadathoper, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome folks, I appreciate that. This hand's great. Wild Growth Walker on 2, they mulligan, Doomblade. Wannabe Beetle! Oh! Alright, well now we're really close. Thank you, Sub Santa. You the best. Let's go! The draft is on. Grab your shovels. This is 10 out of 10 Wild Growth Walker, right? Even if you just like Raven Tribe and Lightning Strike, that's good for us. SCTR! Look at them all. Don't forget to clean your shovel when you're done digging your trench, chat. Please and thank you. And remember, folks that gifted them, those are good for points in the queue or adding decks, so let me know. I'm always happy to hook the folks up with the content they want to see that support what I do here. And the folks that get those sub gifts, after Discord takes a second to populate, make sure you pop on into the subs Discord. So, I think I just want to elf here. It's less mana efficient. Nah, I'm just gonna play the Bronzodon. Let's just play a 3-4. And like if I draw a Black Source next turn, I feel bad that I didn't play the elf. But I guess if I draw a Black Source next turn, I could just go elf Bronzodon and still feel pretty good. The actual answer is that there's no real upside or downside to playing the cemetery on 1. No, there's no special reason. So what you're saying is that my friend and I should gift each other sub all the time so we can build more democracy. Look, if you want to work the system, you work the system however you need to. All I'm saying is I do give you 5 points. Yeah, Bronto is sweet there. That was much better than, Hey, Marshmont! Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, I really feel like we pulled this together. We cut a bunch of the chaff, and we even had a game where like Journey did stuff, right? Which is like the goal of the deck, right? Like the goal wasn't to play bad cards. The goal was to make Journey do things. And I feel like we have a deck that's cohesive when we don't have Journey, and that's also good when we do have it. And that's the real way to make that happen. Yeah, I agree, Marty. The modalness of it is fantastic. I would like to thank everyone for hanging out here this morning. By the way, we've got 1,500 people, which is awesome for a Wednesday. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're new, I stream full time here on Twitch. If you're enjoying my stuff, make sure you give the channel a follow at the very least. That doesn't cost you anything. I'll let you know when I go live and with what. If you're someone who enjoys constructed magic, we play nothing but constructed on this channel. We play a ton of standard using Magic Arena here, and then we also play some modern using Magic Online. They say the second month is most important because it means I chose to come back and I don't regret it. Romeo, thank you for the 2-month resub. Welcome back and thanks for supporting my stuff. When I first showed up here, I looked at the list and said, this is a bad journey list. Now I say, put this back in. We'll do Foxicon. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the bitlies. 10 out of 10 just want to jam Jadelight here, right? Hopefully she gets real big. Put my democracy towards any surveil deck of your choosing. Hope all is well. I'm doing fantastic, Bionic. Thanks for the continued support. That one can stay right there with like a 6/6 down the line. Found a piece of candy, chat, with the Prime support. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Well, I feel like this is going really well for us, huh? Is it just, I think it's just Vraska down tick. I think it's just Vraska down tick. Like, even if she dies, that's okay for us. Like, we're at 17 at this point. We just get to, like, slam Doomboy into play next turn and just, like, have a giant 6/6. Yeah, you can flip Journey if you sacrifice Bronson on targeting it. So it's a backdoor way to flip Journey, too, which is sweet. Whirly Boy would have been annoying there. So they get to hit us for 3/5 damage here, and they're gonna kill Vraska. All right, it's a couple of Plaguecrafters. So put this out. I can block the runaway Steamkin, and then I take 3 down to 9. And then the question is, can I race them before they burn me out? Hey, Billum, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine with that. I think they're pretty obligated to make this trade. Like, if they have a Lightning Strike in their hand, I'm okay trading this with Lightning Strike or Shock too. Yeah, like I think this is good for me. Like, I'm going to 9 and just have a handful of cards. Thanks to the great content, Cyanide 13. Thank you for re-upping that Prime for the 4th month in a row. Yeah, and the crafters are going to clean the board up really nicely. Oh, I'm taking 4 now. Sure. I'm down to 8. That makes sense. That is fantastic because it means that I'm going to be able to gain some health afterwards, which is good. Kind of stabilize and not get burned out. So, Juds, basically every deck that I play on this channel is a viewer submitted deck or idea. The people that kind of send me dollar dues and subs and stuff like that, they dictate what we play. So I'm just a facilitator. I don't really choose what's on the menu. Huh. Think I'm gonna start with this. Now, I probably just want to get Vraska going. I think I want to just start getting life ASAP. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm glad we're helping you learn. Details, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn how my donation queue works, there's a link to the page on my website. And that felt really good. This deck seems like this build seems like it is a really good mono red matchup. Recently, it does feel a little bit like that. Alright, so I don't want to cut too many Vraskas because she gains me health. This is not a good journey matchup. I cut a couple of Legions last time. A Doom Whisperer. Yeah, I don't actually have a follower notification at the moment. Maybe I should. I thought about that, like having a little one somewhere. Because I could have a smaller follow notification. I need to get an animation done though. Vraska's here not only as a draw engine, but also as a method of, she's a method of gaining us health to stabilize, and she enables flipping Journey to Eternity against decks where that's good. Hey Jeff, I don't know if you're clicking quite enough. Could you find your favorite devoted druid deck and bump it? Sounds good, Nick. I think there's a couple of those in the queue, so I'd be happy to push one of those up. I think I'm happy with this board plan. I picked a bad time to stop and eat something real quick. There are a bunch of questions in chat. This is Magic Arena. It's Magic the Gathering's latest digital offering. Today is going to be all standard, even my stream tonight when I come back after my break. Friday's stream will be all modern. Normally I plan to do standard and modern on Fridays because I stream longer on Fridays, but Friday will be all modern this week since we couldn't do modern this morning because of Moto's downtime. I would love to leave that one right there. When I tried Deckmaster, were you able to get to the point where I couldn't find the game output log? I changed the path for the game output log before I tried to compile it to the path where it was located. What are the odds of a stream tomorrow? I am unsure. I might do a short one. Ooh. I might do a short one tomorrow afternoon. Like after I drop Jake off at school for a couple hours, but not 100%. Someone asked, sorry, was there a schedule of my stuff somewhere? Yeah, I have which formats I play on which days on the schedule on my website, jeffhoagland.com. There's a schedule button under the live stream option on the menu. And then the decks that I'm playing on those days, I just pull from the top of my deck queue. So the deck queue has both formats in it, and they're sorted by format in there. So you can look and see which formats I'm playing on which days, then look at the deck queue to see what's at top that's going to be played on those days. Favorite card in Standard? Siren Storm Tamer, I think. The 3/3 flash guy that diddles 2 creatures when it comes into play. So they either misclicked or they knew about the trophy somehow. Oh, they didn't have a land. Oh, they didn't have a land. You're super right. Look at that. Don't assume ghosting, chat. God, you made me do it too. They didn't have a land. Duh. Duh, they didn't have the land. We gifted them the land. Because we're a giver. You made me assume the worst of my opponent. Come on now. A group of 7 friends of me planning to play 7 land Belcher. Do you have an updated deck list work? Yeah, you can always find my latest deck list on my website, jeffhoagland.com. So the point of the modern deck list on that site is to keep them updated. I should have just taken the damage. Yeah, probably. Have been the classy way to go out. Gosh, if they have that, I think this Doom Whisper actually becomes better. Just want more big boys. That's true. You have less time to ghost when you're playing Arena. Someone else commented earlier that my viewer numbers are better when playing Arena. They are. I have 50 to 100% more viewers on average when I'm streaming Arena versus streaming Modern on Magic Online. The YouTube numbers are pretty similar, but I think that's probably also because a lot of people who like Standard haven't made their way to my YouTube yet. Which is a good plug for my YouTube channel. If you enjoy the Standard content here, when I'm done today, and I'm not going to be done for another 3 or 4 hours yet, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Everything I stream goes up on my YouTube channel, and I cut it up by deck list that we play, so you can watch just the decks that you find interesting. I'm gonna graveyard that. I'm glad that this is a 3/2 though, so we don't have 2 things that die to a chain boy. It is a very substantial increase. The flip side and the important thing to remember about that though too is I'm still like, I don't have enough data to know if that increase in viewers translates to an increase in subs and things like that, because the actual ad revenue that I make from viewers is pretty minimal when you stream on Twitch. The bulk of the money that supports me and allows me to do this as my job is subscribers and donation deck lists and stuff like that, which so far, to be fair, we've had a good number of donation deck lists for Standard, which has me excited. I think the donation queue is like almost half Standard at this point. It's actually a little bit bad that this is a 2/1, but I guess they're missing land drops, so it probably doesn't matter. As someone who's played exclusively Modern since I started playing Magic 2 years ago, I've switched to playing/watching only Arena and Digital. Modern's my preferred paper format, but the digital experience is... I agree. It is just... The smoothness is absurd. A 2/1 divination. Can we stop making green cards draw cards? Go ahead, Watsy. This Doom Boy should close the game out. And this is one of the things I really like about decks like this is a deck that can be a little bit controlling, but it also just like gets to give them a good beatdown when being the beatdown is good. Recon by Fire 1987. Thanks for the support. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Welcome. And that's definitely, you know, the way you tell me that you want more Standard content, more Arena content on the channel is make sure you're watching the Standard content and, you know, the Standard donation decks and all that. That's, I like doing both. I like playing Arena a little bit more than Magic Online, but Modern has its appeal here and there. Let's play one more with this deck. I'm kind of into this one. I'm kind of into like where this deck has ended up at. What's the next thing we have today? Oh, we have a Bant deck next. Oh, the next 2 are sweet too. So the next 2 decks, we've got a Bant mid-range deck after we play one more match with this, and then a Naya Zoo deck to wrap things up today. What's the best deck in Standard? I have no idea. I think I'm gonna play Pirates at the Invitational. Or sorry, I think I'm gonna play Pirates at the Grand Prix, but I don't know exactly if that deck's better than everything else. How do you keep track of how long you've been playing a deck on Arena since there's not a lead to conveniently segment the time? It's actually easier to do it on Arena, Jekyll Girl. I just like look at so you're ready for some streamception. On my OBS in the corner, there's a ticker that tells me how long I've been recording for. So we've been playing this deck for about an hour and 29 minutes. So I play decks for somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes usually. If I really get into one, we'll play a little bit more. If I feel like I want to jam one more as we've been tubing. Thumefish, thanks for subbing again. I appreciate that. Good to see you back. I've seen a lot of people that have picked back in that were previously Hex subscribers that have come back since we picked up Arena. I don't think 4-mana Vraska is playable in Modern. Someone asked that earlier too when I was eating and I missed it. 4-mana Vraska is a card that doesn't generate card advantage on its own. To which a lot of people have said to me, well, you just pair 4-mana Vraska with Tireless Tracker Clues. And it's like, well, Tireless Tracker Clues are already drawing cards. So like, why do we need to make them draw cards with another thing? Can I put my Sub-Santa stuff towards Ral control? You definitely can. That means we'll start with it tonight, Beetle. Because I'm going to be back to do more Standard tonight. I don't think I jam Journey here. I don't think I want to get blown out. I think I'm just going to play Dusk Legion and then just like play a tap plan. The Journey to Eternity is probably unbeatable for a control deck if we can get to a point where, yeah, I'm glad I didn't jam it. If we can get to a point where it flips, they probably just can't beat us. So I want to be very careful about my sequencing with it. Ding. Sure, if they have exactly Field of Ruin, that's like their one really clean answer. The overlay currently only works on Windows computers, so I don't have access to it here on my streaming rig. What I want to jam here is definitely a Space Jam turn. I don't think it's the Journey because that gets blown out by spot removal. I think it's Vraska or Doom Whisperer. I think it's Doom Whisperer. I'm gonna start by attacking for 3. Just like get my nickel and dimes in here, just like slowly chip away at them. It's really important that you play a card that your opponent has to counter on turn 4 like this, because if they counter my Doom Whisperer here, they're then not drawing cards with the Jumpstart draw 2. So stressing the opponent's mana and making them answer things when they'd rather otherwise be drawing cards is a good way to make it so their average card quality in hand is lower. Yeah, I agree. I think Vraska has more value later, so I'd rather the Doom Whisperer eat a counterspell. That would be awesome, Root Samurai. You're the best. If you get that working, I'd be happy to pay you for your time or put stuff in the queue, whichever you would like, because I would really appreciate that. That's going to make my job a lot better for people. Because the overlay is good. I just, you know, it just wasn't in the plan to... I never expected to be doing all this arena stuff. We gave it a try, and it was kind of great. Perfect, and this is the Chemist's Insight here. So again, this is they couldn't play that last turn, and now they couldn't play it, and now when they had to play it this turn, I was able to sneak a threat through. That's good. I think I'm sacrificing a land. Thank you, I appreciate it. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Yeah, especially Root, like, even if you don't want to give me more work, like, if there's a deck already in the queue you want to see sooner, it really doesn't cost me anything to bump something up, because, like, I'm going to play it at some point regardless. So, really, it's the least I can do. So, I think I'm going to start by attacking for 2 here. I think I'm gonna jam Eternity here. Yeah, Plaguecrafter is gonna hang out to be removal. Whew!
An unfortunate
Oh, it's just like we drew it up, chat. It's just like we drew it up. It's exactly like you wanted. And this is a good example of making them have it, because if I don't jam there, like, obviously we could get blown out, but if I don't jam there, they're flashing back this Chemist's Insight next turn, and then next turn they're very likely to be able to disrupt my game plan. So making them have it in that situation, getting paid off, feels really good. And then we just ran some lands off here, so we're gonna need to start bringing stuff back. That was, yeah, this game was sweet. I really like how this deck came together. All right, now don't play Field of Ruin, you monster. Don't do it. Let me play with my toy. Let me play with my toy. So like now we've got them from a lot of axes right here. They need to beat the 4 power we have in play. They need to beat the Cave of Eternity, and they need to beat the Vraska. So we've got them in a really sweet squeeze here. Yeah, exactly, right? Like we've got them covered from a lot of axes at the moment. Star of Extinction would be very good. You're not wrong. Gosh, I have a Plaguecrafter in my bin. The Plaguecrafter just comes back from the cave and eats Ral. Oh, that's fantastic. I found out about the Izzet Art Like Me next to your channel. I'll drop by and say thanks. Awesome. Thanks for watching, Action Pancake. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Cancel attack all. There we go. All right, so cave. And because I have this other Plaguecrafter in my hand, I'm actually going to sack my 1/1 here.
Indicate that hurt.
I don't think I sacrifice anything here. I kind of don't need more cards, and I want my creatures in play. I'm gonna lead on Assassin's Trophy rather than Plaguecrafter here, because I would prefer my opponent counter Assassin's Trophy rather than counter my Plaguecrafter, because the Assassin's Trophy gives my opponent an extra land. And this time, I'm gonna put Plaguecrafter in my bin, because I want to be able to bring him back again next turn. So let's smash. Are you dead? Yes, you are. Man, Plaguecrafter was really good there. Maybe I want a third... It could be that I want a third Plaguecrafter in my sideboard for matches like this. It could be that I want a third Plaguecrafter in the board for matches like this. It's definitely a Chupacabra out matchup. Yeah, it could be that we just don't need the find finalities. You can always find the deck list through the Stream Decker widget on screen. Can find it that way. What are my trims? I need 3 more outs here. Maybe I just trim elves. The problem with trimming elves and bringing in 6-drops feels wrong. But maybe it's just what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut some elves. Maybe it's just like cowards cut 2, just like can't cut all of them because I need the mana sources. Yeah, I'm aware Moto's up, but we've got almost 1,700 people here watching Arena, so I'm not going to switch and lose a bunch of those. Yeah, maybe the Squires are better to cut. That's probably reasonable. Yeah, Whisperer could just be too expensive. I think if I have finds, I want them here. I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. I have Plaguecrafter and Assassin's Trophy to beat Niv Mizzet as well. Like, obviously Trophy lets Niv Mizzet draw a card, but I have Crafter too. Have we ever had more than 2K viewers? I don't think so. Oh, that's not true. Savitz dumped 3,000 people into me on Sunday, and I think we're over 2K for a little bit there. What? Huh. I wonder if they board into a tempo deck. Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see like more Drakes and stuff out of them. That's interesting. Let's take a peek at what's going on over here. She had like a bunch of Drakes embody us. take away some other options here. I have children, I'm allowed to make that joke, Twitcher. Give me a 2 or 3, please. Ding. Let's play around Syncopate. Kind of like this to resolve. Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen Jeskai and Blue-Red boarding in the 3-mana Goblin that mentors, that makes the not Rabblemaster thing. I don't think I jam Journey here. I think I'd rather get Vraska going. I don't think I'm really incentivized to YOLO the Journey at this current point in time. Yeah, Legion War Boss is what that other one is. Poor Vraska. Yeah, plus we have backup Vraska, exactly. And like if we get Vraska going, that means we could flip Journey right away. I think I value the Vraska lower than the Doom Whisperer, so I think even if I hit a Black Source here, I'm gonna jam Vraska. I kind of want to lead on this to try and hit a Black Source. Like if we had any Black Source or like a 2 or 3 that we could play, I'm pretty happy leading on this. Feels a little bad. No Chemist's Insight there is good for us. If they had Chemist's Insight, I would get punished for not playing a must counter, but the lack of Chemist's Insight is definitely fantastic. Alright, so I need Vraska to kill this, and then Plaguecrafter can deal with this. Gosh, they have another counterspell? They do not. Really want to draw a Black Source next turn. What's going on, Senko? Yeah, Arena is very popular and Standard's great. It's definitely a mix of the two. I don't think it's just Arena. I think the fact that like this Standard format is probably the best Magic format I've played in a long time helps a lot too, but... What kind of soup should I get from Panera? The Autumn Squash is my favorite. The Summer Corn Chowder and Autumn Squash are two of my favorites that they make. Black Source, Black Source, Black Source, untap Black Source. Alright, just got a jam. If we had an untapped Black Source here, we would have been... Oh, I should have attacked first. I'm aware that I missed a point of damage. I'm aware that I missed a point of damage. A couple other people commented they felt the audio had some kind of background noise to it. I don't know, maybe I should plug and unplug my microphone. I took a listen and I didn't hear anything. It sounded about the same as normal. My audio is a little boomy down here. Should probably buy some sound deadening since it's still going to be a couple months before I move. I'm going to go ahead and Duress here. This gives me a chance to stick Journey. I did a Google Hangout last night for a podcast interview that I did. I wonder if Google Hangout sometimes like Discord does that too occasionally, where it like grabs a hold of the input device and then like messes with it. It's actually up. There was I retweeted it on the Twitters. I'm blanking on the Hive Mind. That's what it's called. They interview people that play Magic the Gathering and do stuff in the Magic community. What is all right? So this is a Dusk Watch Legion first, I think. All right, what are you doing? Sure. The only comment I'm gonna make on the Todd Stevens incident, it's a shame what happened to Todd Stevens. Maybe it's a shame what he potentially did to other people. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and like, you probably shouldn't assume in either direction or the other. But let's not, it's like not act like, yeah, just, you know, be decent to each other. Let's just say that. We're dead to a Doom Blade, but if they don't hit a Doom Blade, yeah. Let's bring our Plaguecrafter into play here. Honestly, maybe I should just sack the Plaguecrafter there because I leave it in the bin that way and can bring it back next turn. All right. All right. That felt really good. I feel like we started with something that was kind of clunky and awkward, and we kind of cut the garbage out of the middle, and we kind of arrived at a green black deck that's able to leverage Journey in a pretty reasonable way. So we filled in a bunch of 2-drop creatures that we don't mind sacrificing. We maxed out on Vraska, so we have a really easy and ready way to get rid of things. I think the only small thing I would change in this final list is I think I'd like another Plague. I think I'd like another Crafter in the sideboard. I think one more copy of that here over something. Honestly, I'm not sure that I need these Find Finalities, if I'm being completely honest. I'll trim one of those. All right, so we're not done for the day. We're just moving along to the next one. So we've got Bant Midrange coming up next here. Let's go ahead and get this going. Put this in the deck view so you can see what's going on. Update the Stream Decker. Ruinous Blast is a sweet one. I agree with that. All right, the Stream Decker should be good to go. I'm going to tweet out a deck list. Yeah, right, Sarah? Well, to be fair, they super messed it up and didn't put the status correctly on the website either. Just a moment.